Welcome to an introduction to Materialize. Materialize is a three-dimensional mapping program which uses virtual grids to place designs into photographic scenes. You can download pre-gridded scenes from AVA Assist by selecting Install Materialize Scene from the grid menu. These are ready-to-use scenes, meaning they are ready for you to transfer a design onto. So let's take a look at how to do this. So from the grid menu, I'm going to slide all the way to the bottom and select Install Materialize Scene. And this is going to automatically log me into Assist. There's no password required. It opens up the downloads section. So if you slide down this page here, you'll see that you have Materialize files. We've categorized these into 4 books: bedding, fashion and apparel, furnishing, and wall coverings. Now, if you click on a file, it will download automatically into AVA. If you click on one that has already been installed, you will get this option to open the existing one that's already on your system, or you can replace the one that's already on your system. So if you've damaged that file, saved over it by mistake, you can replace it. I'm going to cancel that, and I'm going to go to a scene that I haven't already installed. Clicking on this one, it will ask me simply if I want to install it, OK or cancel. I'm going to click OK. And that's going to install this scene straight onto my system, and it's going to open it into AVA for me. Like so. Now, if I command click on the title of this document, it will show you where it's saved. So it's inside my home user, library, application support, AVA, Materialize scenes. These are pre-gridded, so we've done all of the work for you by putting a grid on each of the products within this scene. To select a grid to transfer design onto, simply activate it here. It does not have to be visible, okay? So I'm going to make mine invisible. So I want to transfer design onto the duvet grid, make it active, and I just go to the design that I want to transfer, and I just simply make sure that all of those layers are active. I go back to my scene and I go to the grid menu and select Transfer Draft. It will ask me which document I want to transfer because I do have several documents open at this time. So I select the relevant document from the list and I click OK. You'll notice as well that we have a transfer high option here. That is for when you're very happy with your grids. So when you're making your grids, which you will learn about in the next movies, you have to edit the grids, you have to choose its placement, its scale, you have to create a trimming area. So whilst you're doing all of this and you're making sure your design looks okay, you use transfer draft. When you have finalized all of your changes to your grid and you're absolutely happy that it looks fantastic, then you would transfer high, and it transfers at a higher quality. Now, because this scene is downloaded onto my system, it's mine, I can do with it what I wish, it is royalty free. So that means I can come in here and edit, for example, the shading and highlight layers. Now for the highlight layer, I wish to change the transparency of this layer because it looks a little bit too heavy for the effect that I'm craving. So I activate that layer and I come to my transparency setting. Mine's already open on my system here, but if it's not already open and you want to open it, simply click on the T button at the top of your layers palette. So this has been saved with a default transparency of 70%. If I reduce that, you'll see what happens, and it's almost as if that sun is casting on a very reflective fabric. I actually want to reduce the transparency so that it's not quite as reflective, but I can see that even by reducing it, it is still having an effect on the design as I turn it on and off here. Something else you may choose to do in a pre-gridded scene is change the colour of a shadow. So the shadows are defaulted to be black, however this doesn't necessarily work with every colourway in a design. So you can simply option click on the shadow and change the colour. So I'm going to go for a more grey tone for the shadow as opposed to a black, okay? But you can see what an effect it has over the scene as a whole.